What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Salute to everyone tuning in. I want to talk about Marques Houston. Marques Houston did an interview, and I don't know why he did this interview. I don't think this interview really is going to help much, because not only did he go into, basically what type of woman that he is into, but the fact that there are certain types of women he's not into, and how he met his wife. I don't know why he did this interview. I really don't. I think all this does is fuel the fires that are against him. And it appears that there are a lot of people, specifically, especially women, who do not like the fact that he at 41 is married to a 22-year-old that he met when she was, what, 17 or 18. And he says that he met this girl through a mutual friend. Now, I want y'all to understand something from this commentary. I'm going to take a very logical approach. I'm not about to sit here and get irrational and over emotional. We're going to discuss things because I'm a facts and evidence guy. I'm a facts and evidence guy. We're going to just discuss the things that we know. What we know is that Marques has known this female, according to him, since she was 17. And he met her through a mutual friend. Now, there are stories and theories about how he met this girl. But again, I have to go off of what we know. And what I know is I would never try to date a 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old. One, because it's illegal to be out here trying to date a 17-year-old girl. And two, there is nothing that a teenage girl, even a girl in her early 20s, can really tell me about the world. That I would want to marry her, that she's going to bring a certain element to my life that I don't have. Now, that doesn't mean that dating younger women are wrong. I'm not against that. If a man wants to date a female that is of age, I ain't got no problem with that. We see it all the time. I think there are a lot of women who are upset about this. They're upset about the fact that there are so many older men now dating more and more younger women openly. You see it in Hollywood. Leo DiCaprio, he gets this. He has this rep of dumping girls when they turn a certain age because they feel like they gotten too old, but they just turned like 24, 25, right? And he goes back to dating like 20-year-olds, and that stuff has gone on for generations. Older men have always pursued younger women. I think that's just something that's always happened. I think the problem that people have with Marques Houston is the fact that he started dating this female when she was a teenager. He says he met her when she was 17. There are people who think otherwise. Again, we cannot talk about thinking. We have to have evidence of proof. This interview to me did not help at all. All it did was make people more and more viscerally upset with Marques Houston, to the point to where they want they want to destroy him, but you can't really how can you really cancel him? If there was actual proof of the things that y'all believe that he had did before she was 17, as far as the grooming part, he has no fear of it. He has no fear. But we're going to get into this interview. I would never have advised this interview. I'm be honest with you. But he decided to do it. And not only did he do this interview, he basically put it out here. I'm not looking to date no woman with kids or no woman my age that could bring a lot of baggage into the relationship. Now, this according to Page 6, as he did the interview with them. Actor and R&B singer Marques Houston made headlines in 2020 when he, at age 38, was engaged to a 19-year-old and publicly defended online criticism of their age gap. She's now 22, while he's 41, and they welcomed their first child in 2021. Houston now tells Page 6 that women his own age come with too much baggage. A red flag to me was always with a woman that had a kid, he said. Nothing against single women, but single mothers with children are a red flag to me. Listen, there's nothing wrong with men not wanting to date women with kids. There are men out here who don't want to be stepdaddies. And obviously, what he's saying is that he did not want to be a stepdaddy. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as the people are consenting adults. Consenting adults. Legal, right? He don't want to date no single mother with kids. Maybe he feels like the women that he's come across, they all got children, and he doesn't want to be a stepdaddy. The Sister Star met wife Miya in 2018 through a mutual friend. You got to ask yourself, how are you meeting? And I'm presuming at that age she was 17. How are you meeting 17-year-olds through mutual friends? Shouldn't she be in high school? You know? I tip my hat and respect women that are raising children on their own, he told us, but when I grew up, I never really wanted to have kids. He elaborated, I would talk to my dad a lot, and he would always tell me to have your own kids because you never know what the baby daddies are about. So if you're gonna have kids, make sure it is with a woman that never had kids. So that was always my red flag, and a woman with an attitude. I don't like women with funky attitudes. I think a lot of men don't like women with funky attitudes. I think a lot of us men can agree that we don't want women with bad attitudes. But again, that's something that he doesn't want. And he feels like with this younger woman, she's going to be the woman that that's going to be the opposite of that. I think that, and you could find that with women in any age range. Again, I'm not telling him, you know, what age range to date as long as it's legal. But maybe in his circles, it's harder to find that. Again, you ain't going to find, you know, to me, wife material in no teenager. I'm sorry. It's not. I'm 41. She's 22. I could have married a 44-year-old woman and it could have been disastrous, the singer said. Women that are my age, they kind of have a different outlook on life. Like a lot of women my age are very independent. They are very like, I don't need a man to do this for me because I can do it for myself. I come from a generation that love is to provide for my wife. Well, let me say this because he mentioned generations. The only reason why you have women like this who end up in the arms of a Marques Houston is because these young ladies don't have guidance from older women. See, this is why I have to talk to you older women. The only reason why you're seeing stuff like this is because a lot of y'all don't guide these younger women. You're trying to compete with them. If these younger women had other women, female OGs to go to for advice, right? To be able to be there to comfort them in tough situations, to basically school them on what type of men to avoid, you would probably see less of this. But because she probably had no guidance, again, how did she end up with Marques Houston? And this isn't the only situation. You have other situations where these young girls run away from home because they don't want to be around their mothers, or, you know, none of the women in their family are there to look out for them, or even the men, because I ain't gonna hold them. I ain't gonna say that they're not gonna make it seem like they don't play a part in this, because they do. But these young girls have no guidance, just like a lot of these young males have no guidance. But especially a lot of these women, you hear these, you see all this, you know, female empowerment. But what about these young girls? These young girls have nobody to turn to, so they turn to a Marques Houston. That's who they turn to because they don't have other women there to give them guidance. The proof is out there. Look at what's going on with these women of today. They have no guidance whatsoever. There's nobody there for them, so they end up in the arms of older men. He added, of finding the right woman, there's a lot of women my age I've dated. They may have had baggage. They may have kids, they may not. There's so many different women I've been with throughout my life, and it just so happens to be that this one, Miya, caught my heart. Everything that I prayed for, everything that I wanted in a woman, she came with. Although she was young, I'm young in spirit. He said he's young in spirit. Aren't us all, huh? But the former immature singer says he can't catch a break when it comes to fans. When it comes to fans being critics. In the immature days, we would have light-skinned girls in our music videos. Then people would question, why can't you get a black girl? And then it's like, oh yeah, I only like light-skinned girls. Then the plus-size girls will come and get me. I was like, man, I can't catch a break. I mean, is he talking about dark-skinned girls? He got light-skinned girls in videos, and you got the dark-skinned girls that may feel some type of way. But anyway, this is his thought process as to why he chose who he chose. Listen, I'm not the type of guy, again, to date women in their late teens, early 20s, especially these Gen Z women. Gen Z women are crazy. They out here with no guidance. They just doing whatever. It's tough to find a good woman in any age range. But sometimes, you know, if you're patient, maybe it'll be presented in front of you. But again, we don't know the origins of this union. I don't know if I'm going to 100% take his word on it. But again, that's what he's saying. His wife isn't saying anything. Miya, his wife, has not come out and addressed anything. She's basically taken his side. She's not speaking. So everybody can just speculate. But it is weird that your mutual friends are hooking you up with 17-year-olds. I mean, but I will say this though. I don't want people to lose sight of the ultimate perverse world that we have now. Right? You have women, like I just made a video about the soccer star Ashraf Hakimi. You know, he met his now ex-wife when he was 19 and she was in her early 30s. But unfortunately, more people are more of these same women care about the fact that he didn't give up any money in a divorce. They're more upset about that than the fact that this woman started dating this guy, what, possibly before he was 19, could have been when he was 18. But they care more about the divorce settlement that she didn't get, right? But why were you with the 19-year-old? And then you marry him, what, a couple years later? To me, I've never been a fan of dating a woman that wasn't closer to my age. That's just me. But you have to be picky, especially as a man. There's plenty of women out here. You got to be extremely picky. A lot of these women ain't worth it. It really ain't. The majority of these women out here nowadays in the dating market, they are, you know, they're only probably good for a night or two, maybe a quick fling, and that's about it. But I would never, even through a mutual friend, seek to engage in any type of relationship talk with a 17, 18, 19-year-old. I'm just not gonna, that's just not me. That's never been me. That's never been me. In our world today, you have to be picky because again, she's what, 22 now? What happens when she changes her mind, Marques? What happens if she no longer wants to be married? That can possibly happen. And let's say you get into a messy divorce and she doesn't start alleging things. That can happen. I'm not saying it should. I just want you to know this is the type of world that we're in, man. This is a new day and age, man. Women feel like they can be more than just a wife. They want to be out here in these streets. They want to have all this freedom. But again, it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.